The Prodigal Son. There once was a man who had 2 sons. One day, the youngest son said to his father, "I need my share of your land. It's much too long to wait until you die. Give me my inheritance now." His father agreed, and not long after, the youngest son took everything he had, set off for a distant, faraway country, and selfishly spent all he had been given, without a second thought for his father. When the youngest son had nothing left, things got even worse, and there was a bad famine in the faraway land where he was living. He needed to earn money, so he found work feeding animals in the fields. He was so hungry that eventually he longed to eat even the scraps he fed to the farm animals, but no one gave him a thing. Finally, the youngest son thought to himself, "My father's own workers have plenty of food to spare, and I'm in a faraway land working hard and nearly starving." So he decided to make the long journey home and say sorry for what he had done. "I know I don't deserve to be treated like a son, but maybe if my father is kind, he will allow me to come home and at least be treated like a servant." He hadn't yet reached home when his father saw him, some way in the distance. His father was so happy to see his youngest son that before he could say anything, he ran to him and gave him a big hug and a kiss, despite everything he had done. Still, the youngest son said, "Father, I have sinned against heaven and against you. I am no longer worthy to be called your son." To the son's surprise, his father said to his workers, "Quick, we must dress him in our best clothes. Then let's have a feast and celebrate. For this son of mine was dead and now is alive again." Meanwhile, his older son was in the field. At the end of a hard day's work, he came home to find music, dancing, and celebration. "What's going on?" he asked one of the workers. "Your brother has returned," they replied, "and your father asked for a feast in his honor." The older brother was very angry and refused to join in. "What's wrong, my son?" asked his father when he found him outside. "I've worked for you years without disobeying any of your orders," replied the oldest son. "You never gave me anything for my hard work, but when your sinful son returns, you give him a feast. It's not fair." "My son," replied his father, "I love you so very much. I know that you are always with me, and everything I have is yours. But we had to celebrate because your younger brother was dead. So it is right that we show happiness for finding someone who was lost and is now found."